It's National Signing Day, and we're at Georgetown High School with wide receiver Bo Corrales, who just inked his name to North Carolina. On the court behind me is freshman Big 12 Player of the Year, Joyner Holmes. Now, while she is one of the 4 major awards that the UT women's basketball team got, they were leading it 3-0 going into the 8th inning until the bullpen blew it, and the Bears took home the victory. It's a combination from high school to college to even Rio Olympians who will be here this week. After a disappointing 2-10 season, the Texas State Bobcats are taking this spring game as just another practice. But today he made it nice and blunt that he didn't even like last year's team. It was a Big 12 rematch against Baylor and Texas after the Horns went to Waco the last time and took the W for the first time in 7 years. And new head coach Tom Herman said, "Thank God we do not have to play today," which means his Horns still have a ways to go until the season begins. And at practice, we'll be miking up linebackers coach Tyler Santucci.
Come on, hop! Stop hopping! Stop hopping!
Plus, we'll preview the homecoming matchup against Louisiana Lafayette. All this and more on this week's episode of The Path.
It's exciting. How can you not be? It's Texas baseball, and and we're ready to get going. A new era here at Dish Falk.
After a disappointing 25-32 season last year, the Texas baseball team is more confident than ever, being able to rely on their teammates.
I think we're more relaxed because we have so much talent on this team, and we know that if this guy doesn't get it done, well, we have a lot of other guys that can get it done. Guys are looking at it like, I have to do my role, and those other 9 guys in the lineup are going to do their role. And so that's what is able to help us relax and play better, and that's what I've seen watching during the fall and watching this last month, and that's why I think we're going to be pretty successful.
The offseason added some changes to the squad, but to them, the goal is still the same.
Really nothing's really changed. We still have the main goal of winning. We go out there, we want to be 1-0 every day. So, nothing's changed besides the fact that we want to go out there and win. We want to go out there, we put it all on the field and come out with whatever may happen.
After replacing legendary Augie Garrido, new head coach David Pierce says there can be a lot of pressure playing at somewhere like Texas.
It adds that little pressure, and you feel like you have to do something different. So I'm just trying to constantly get them to trust who they are.
For the Horns, finding confidence and maintaining relaxation is the key. And if they can keep that on their mind, a successful season could be ahead. For Sports Night, I'm Kelsey Favila.
Now, your sports from Spectrum News.
It was a tough loss for the Texas baseball team Friday night in Waco. They were leading it 3-0 going into the 8th inning until the bullpen blew it, and the Bears took home the victory. But the Horns were back on Saturday and ready to take the field. Texas leading the entire game until Tucker Cascaden singles out to right field, and the Bears tie it up. But it's Casey Clemens in extra innings who takes it out of the ballpark. It's a 2-run homer for the senior, and Texas will dodge the sweep and win the game 5-3. The Spurs are taking on the Memphis Grizzlies and open up the NBA playoffs. Getting tangled, the ball gets a little loose, and Vince Carter picks it up and dunks it. Spurs now down by 13, and Pop calls the timeout. It's Danny Green who swings it over to Tony Parker, who goes up for the 3 and sinks it. Spurs go up 41-38. It's the end of the third, and Kawhi Leonard takes it up the middle, and it bounces in. And with that, the Spurs win it 111-82. The Longhorns had their spring game earlier today, and new head coach Tom Herman said, "Thank God we do not have to play today," which means his Horns still have a ways to go until the season begins. But that's okay because they have 4.5 months to prepare. Shane Buechele had 2 touchdown passes to Colin Johnson. Buechele threw for 369 yards, also ran in a score. Westlake's Sam Ellinger leading the second-team offense. He did struggle, but he had this nice 35-yard touchdown pass to Jordan Humphrey. Neither quarterback has been named the starter just yet.
Shane knows we have a lot of confidence in him, and Shane did a lot of things really, really well this spring. But to say that he's won the job in 12 padded practices when he doesn't even get hit, that would be a bit premature.
Texas State spring game also happening down the road. It's Coach Everett Withers' second year with the Bobcats, and after losing four-year starter Tyler Jones, he's in need of a quarterback. But today he made it nice and blunt that he didn't even like last year's team.
I didn't like those guys last year either.
Yeah.
I didn't like them.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I didn't.
You like these guys better?
Love them.
Yeah.
Love 'em. I mean, are we more talented? No, we're not. But I like being around them. I like being around our guys. They're good people.
That's all the time we have for Sports Night, and until next time, I'm Kelsey Favila. Lake Travis High School finished their season last June, not only being knocked out of the state tournament earlier than expected, but 15 seniors went along with it.
Last year we were expecting a lot more than what ended up happening, so we feel that we've got a lot that we have to make up for this year.
They had one of their best seasons in school history, and at one point even climbed to the top of Max Prep's national rankings.
Came into the playoffs and we were #1 team in the nation. We lost that first game to Stony Point. It kind of just shocked us all, and we knew we had to stay focused, and ended up just not working out how we wanted it to.
But the Cavs aren't worried about not making it back to the tournament because they have plenty of underclassmen ready to step up to the plate.
We've got several young kids, that have come up and played really well, and and the seniors that we have now stepped up and provided the leadership role, and so it's a good transition, and we're off to a good start.
And one of them is Brett Beatty, who has been at bat only 47 times, but is hitting .523.
We're fortunate to have some talented kids. Brett's one of them. He's a sophomore. He's committed to the University of Texas already, and he's got off to a fantastic start.
Coaches really helped me with my swing, and I just put in all the time and work, and I wouldn't be here where I am now without working really hard and getting in the cages and stuff.
The team keeps one thing in mind to motivate them throughout the season.
Our motto this year is unfinished business.
This year's team, I think we can really take those words and put it into actions and really finish.
So they can bring home Lake Travis their first ever state title. For Sports Night, I'm Kelsey Favila.